days, I've really been soaking up my mornings. I know here in a few months when our baby comes earthside, even the concept of a routine will be a novelty. Those early days I know will be special in their own way, but for now I really am cherishing my quiet mornings. I like to start my morning by what I call waking up the house. I go through each room and I turn on the lights. This home has quite a few nooks, so it really does wake myself up too because I'm just moving from room to room. Rather than making our bed right away, I like to let our sheets actually breathe for a bit. We often sweat when we sleep, so this helps just air out everything, all those germs, before trapping them under the covers again. After being in an apartment for so long, we are really making use of our backyard space. I like to come out here in the morning and sit outside while Cash uses the bathroom and just get some morning sun on my skin. This really does help regulate my circadian rhythm, but honestly, it just feels really nice too. I think that I have had this exact same breakfast every single morning this summer, and that is a Greek yogurt bowl with granola, bee pollen, local honey, and a sliced peach. It is so delicious. I find that Greek yogurt in the morning is definitely my favorite because it has all those healthy probiotics which help get things going, if you know what I mean. And for me, I just feel a lot better having kind of a little bit of a lighter breakfast. I do try to eat right when I wake up in the morning. This was out of necessity during my first trimester, but it's just been a habit I've kept up throughout pregnancy because I feel so much better when I eat right away. And I got in the habit of this before I was pregnant, but it would typically just be something small before I worked out. And now I just have my full-on breakfast. I find that I feel a lot more balanced in the morning. I have more energy in my workout. And I know it can seem daunting to eating right when you wake up in the morning if you're not used to that. I found once I started doing this for a week, my body got used to it, it adapted, and now it's just a part of my routine. And I pretty much crave breakfast right when I wake up in the morning now. While I have limited my caffeine use, I do still enjoy one coffee a day, usually with my breakfast. I then make my way into our living room for some reading. This has quickly become my favorite part of my routine ever since we finished this little sitting area. It gets the most beautiful sunlight in the morning. It's actually quite a cloudy day today, but I can still feel it streaming in, and it is just so peaceful. It's the perfect spot for my morning devotions. And lately I have been doing just the same old that I've been doing for probably a couple years now. That is reading through New Morning Mercies, and then I'm also just reading my Bible along with that. I've talked about this devotional for years and years at this point, but it is really just my favorite. It has a little daily devotional, and then it has scripture that you can read after. But something that I have added to this routine, and I mentioned this in some of my videos, is actually trying to memorize more scripture. For me, this really is a discipline, and I know I'm entering a new phase of life with motherhood. That's something that I've never experienced before. I, of course, have friends who are mothers, and I have family members who are mothers, but I know that this is a journey that is going to shape me in such a way. And for me, whenever I feel anxious or fearful or I doubt myself, I know that I find true encouragement through leaning on scripture and just having timeless truths to rely on, and knowing that I get my strength from God himself. And I think that it can be difficult to protect your peace in a lot of different seasons of life. And I know that I am not always going to feel very zen and peaceful throughout this journey, but I really don't want to operate out of fear in this new season. And that is something that I have been actively praying about and trying to go in feeling prepared, but also fully relying on God at the same time. I just finished memorizing Psalm 23, so I actually need to pick a new passage to memorize. That's also something that I really hope to be able to speak truth over our child too when he comes into the world. And that's something that I really appreciated that I got from my parents, and it's something that I want to continue doing for him. But regardless, if you are in a totally different season of life, I think that this is something that is so beneficial. And if you have the time, not every morning looks like this for me. Some mornings are a little bit more chaotic, but on the slower ones, I really do try to focus on this because I know that it can easily not become a priority for me, and it's something that I always do want to focus on. I find setting aside at least 15 minutes for this morning reading really does wonders for the rest of my day. It makes me more present, it reminds me of what matters, and I find that I'm just generally a lot less irritable. I then like to do any small chores that take 15 minutes or so. Usually that's just unloading the dishwasher so our sink doesn't get cluttered throughout the rest of the day. It is now time to take Cash for his walk. I just went ahead and changed into my workout stuff because I want to work out after. I typically do like to walk him before I go to the gym just because it does get so hot so quick already. It's already 86 degrees outside, and so the earlier the better to take him just so he doesn't get too hot. But ever since moving to an actual neighborhood, it has been so nice walking him. We used to live in such a busy area with construction and it was always really busy, and it was great for the time being, but now it's so nice just being in a quiet, peaceful neighborhood with neighbors. And yeah, it's quickly become one of my favorite things. I've always liked walking him, especially these days. Now it's just much more of an enjoyable experience. I recently discovered the Japanese word komorabi, probably saying that wrong, but it means the scattered light that filters through when sunlight shines through trees. I love that there's a specific word for this because it really is my favorite thing to notice on our walks. About to head to the gym, and I kind of wanted to chat about my current fitness routine because if you've watched any of my morning routines, you would know that for one, fitness is a big part of my life, and two, I really do enjoy working out in the morning. And obviously with pregnancy, there have been quite a few changes in this department, especially my first trimester was not working out nearly as much, and I would say my second trimester, I really got the energy back to be back in the gym, be back in a routine. However, I'm not doing all my same workouts anymore. I really enjoyed running beforehand, and that's something that I still enjoy, but it is just not nearly as comfortable as it used to be. And I find the further that I go along, the more just uncomfortable running is. And for me, I always want fitness and moving my body to be something that I enjoy. Obviously, there are some days when I don't necessarily want to be there, but I find by the time I get there, I'm enjoying it. And it always feels good to get just a good sweat in, but running is not a huge part of my routine. Typically right now, I switch off between doing some sort of strength and conditioning workout from Sydney Cummings, who I love on YouTube. I've really enjoyed doing her workouts, especially when she was pregnant. I like to watch those to see how she was modifying, not doing certain things. And that is what I plan to do today. And then on the other days, I will typically do the Stairmaster. I'll walk on an incline, try to get some form of cardio in. Sometimes I will bike. I'm not a huge fan of biking, but those are the things I've been doing to move my body. And especially at the end of my workouts now, I've been trying to do some sort of pelvic floor stretches just to help that area when it comes to labor and delivery down the road, and just strengthening those muscles because I know that things get pretty loose during pregnancy. I just wanted to say that too, if you're in a phase where working out is not necessarily the #1 priority, you're not feeling your strongest, that is just something that's been an adjustment, because I've been someone who previously loved going really hard in the gym, really pushing myself and just do hard things, and now I'm trying to be a little bit more slow when it comes to the gym and just be there to move my body, but know that this is not the season of my life where working out is the #1 priority. I really don't take for granted the ability to move my body right now, because I know that's not possible for everyone during pregnancy. I found that it has really helped me feel like myself during this transitional period, even if I'm not pushing myself as much as I once did. While I'm fresh and sweaty after my workout, I like to water our plants, and these days it's been averaging 105 degrees outside, so needless to say, they are not faring super well, but they do seem to be holding out for those cooler temps. After my shower, I like to apply my hydrating belly serum and cream from Row. While I know stretch marks are just a part of the process, you can't really prevent them. This ritual honestly just feels nice for myself, and I imagine for the baby too. I've also been enjoying the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I find that this is especially hydrating during these drier months. When I'm having less breakouts, I really love using the Ilia Serum Foundation. It's pretty lightweight and dewy, which I love for the summertime. And just in general these days, I have really been minimal with my makeup routine. I really haven't been wearing much eye makeup, and I just prefer to take the least amount of time possible when I get ready in the morning. I'm also a huge fan of the Ilia Multi-Stick. This gives me just the perfect amount of tint for my cheeks. I then like to go in and fill in my brows just a bit with brow gel. I always finish off with my Dime Thirsty Face Mist. This really gives my skin that dewy, fresh look. I then threw some waves in my hair, and I put on this skirt from Forever 21 and this top from Petal & Pup. While I do strive to maintain peace throughout my days, I think it's really important to share that not all mornings look like this, especially because they are not shot with a fancy camera and overlaid with relaxing music. Life is sometimes messy, which really does make me appreciate the days where my mornings do look like this. Often I'm focusing on just 1 or 2 of these habits in a morning, and you know, that is enough. And now it is time to start my work for the day. That is pretty much it for my morning routine. It's been really fun kind of developing a new routine being in this new house. I especially love my workspace in this house too. We have this little nook next to our kitchen and it just gets such beautiful light, and yeah, it's a nice place to work. And so I'm gonna get started on everything that I have to do for the day, but I hope you guys enjoyed spending the morning with me. Hope it gave you guys some ideas if you are also crafting your own morning routine, developing healthy habits. So thankful for you guys, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye friends.